Okay. Hi, three gens, Megan, and my sunflower. Okay, we're dealing again with the topic of is there a secret male crisis going on? And what can we do about it? Are women to blame? I got a few informal responses that were very much about chest bumping, guys, ball playing. We follow our leaders, and a few about oh, why don't you keep your hair natural? Um, you know, why don't you keep your hair its natural color, etc. So I just wanted to say that maybe the reason that there is a male crisis is that these tend to be stock responses, it's a defense system, like putting up the shoulder. And if we could get by that, guys, because I am just going to say, well, I'm from the street quite a bit. I do a lot of interaction with people that I meet, men that I meet on the street concerning issues. For some reason, they open up to me and talk to me. And I don't know if it's maybe because I don't offer them a chest bump or ball playing in response. They say, I feel I can talk to you. And so I wanted to say that the common thread that I have found is that there's, by the way, make sure you drink your water every 15 minutes if you're out there, because we do care. And stay hydrated and cool as much as you can. Yeah, so back to the video. Maybe there is a trauma thread running through those who end up in situations showing that they're having a bad reaction to something they've been through. You get certain people with maybe PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. A lot of guys are going through a relationship issue, a breakup, or some other type of issue. Some are addicted. And I want to say maybe we should expand the definition of addiction to if you continue with trauma behaviors from a time in your youth when you went through a not so good experience. And you keep perpetuating these behaviors. And I'm speaking because I too have been through the same experience. Nobody's life is perfect. Mine wasn't either. And I did respond with negative behaviors that I couldn't even identify were negative at a certain point in my life, responding to a trauma. Luckily, by the grace of God, I healed. So that's why I'm here. I mean, a guy actually wished me a happy Father's Day. And this guy was, I think, a trans man from whom you'd really. Well, I just want to say I wasn't really flattered when he said Happy Father's Day on Father's Day. So then he walked away. He said, I can see you raising him. And he pointed to my youngest son. And so I was like, oh, thank you. And then finally he said, as he was crossing the street, in the middle of the street, he turned around and said, he's going to be a good man because of you. So again, that's why I'm here. Because at least, okay, maybe some people can recognize that they've been through traumas. Some people can recognize that those traumas have caused them to continuously recycle behaviors that may not be harmful to them. But my takeaway is, if you don't heal from the trauma, you are going to be destroyed by it in one way or the other. And it's extremely important to heal from the trauma. Example, one young man I was talking to back in Detroit, I think, he thought that his family was against him, and he told us, group of us, that he was about to do something to harm his family members, and he didn't care if he went to jail. So somebody said, well, they're not against you. They just see your potential and they're mad about your great potential that you have. We didn't know if that was true or not. But then someone else said, if you go to jail, who's going to come and have dinner with us in the restaurant? Because he always came to the restaurant to fraternize. And that was the beginning of the turnaround. None of us knew whether anything we were saying was true, but that was what he needed. And he turned around and he's doing really well now. No longer depressed, holding a job, really good relationships, no longer so deeply angry. He mentioned to me that, he'd been into satanic worship at one time. So I don't know if that or how that factored in. But however, again, it just shows that maybe we would do well to assess who we are and where we're coming from, and maybe chest bumps and pictures of guys scoring goals at ball playing. Have they been helping? I mean, people who are seriously traumatized, men who may need to hear you are valuable, who may need to rethink how they ended up where they ended up, rather than just be given a chest bump. Um, the trauma factor suggests that if and not every male is affected by trauma, obviously. Some males are really great out there. Shout out to you, and shout out to those who are affected by trauma too, and who want to move on, and who want to move on. And this is why I'm doing the video. I was speaking recently to another friend of mine, and he said that his marriage was breaking up, and in one case, two friends, actually, two men, and one of the guys, 50 years of marriage, and another one, around 20 something years of marriage. So I said to the first one, if it's irretrievable, don't give up, because he had actually begun to do what I saw as goodbye hugs. He was just giving everyone a straight arm hug without a smile and clapping them on the back and looking off into the distance. He was talking, I think, about self harm. So I said, you really don't think that this is the end of the line? You are going to find somebody better. If you can't repair it, there's always hope. And I said, you're a wonderful person, you're a good person, and you don't deserve someone who's kicking you and telling you to get out and, scrapping with you. In some cases, forcing older men into diets, so you got to look like you're 15 or 12 again. There are different ways males go through abuse, and females do. We're talking about the whole spectrum. So after that, he was encouraged. I mean, I prayed for him, of course. So after that, I saw him a couple weeks later, and he'd gotten over it. He'd gotten a different job, and he was doing a whole lot better. Yay! So the second guy, we went into confidently. The psychology of who he was and the psychology of who his wife was. She was a very strong Afro American woman, very educated, advanced, and job wise, career wise, and he was from a trauma background, and he was a pretty good father. But then the trauma background was causing a feeling of impermanence, as in nothing is supposed to last, including a marriage that was really good. And his wife being a very, should I say, a woman who was accustomed to things flowing well and to having a hand in things flowing well, did not realize that It was his background that was making him sometimes unfaithful, and so they were ready to clash. And I think they're talking things over now based on what are their relative backgrounds. They seem to be doing a lot better. Again, my point is it's usually a trauma factor. And sometimes that trauma factor can be so hidden that someone um, that used to be me in the past could be manifesting negative behaviors that they have normalized. And then they normalize other people behaving negatively towards them. And then they normalize that they have to be part of the school to person pipeline, which is where the topic of leadership comes in. If your leaders have traditionally been treated badly, or they have shown themselves to be vulnerable to deep mistakes, the way you respond to your leaders may need a bit of introspection where you may want to ask yourself, am I a better leader than those who are leading me? Is there somewhere deep within myself that I can find a light, a star, sunshine that I can follow and be a better me without having to join the line, follow the leader, oh, this one went bad, oh, follow the other one, oh, they did so, oh, this one recanted on what he said the last time, and now there's 6 different ways that instead of that, and we want to look to in time, just a second, we want to look to, thank you, in time as to how does that then affect the way we think and the way we view our maleness, because we may view maleness as a gender that's supposed to be victimized, that's supposed to have fatherlessness or very bad fathers and very bad male examples. And we may not even realize, I mean, as men, that that is the normalization that we have come to accept. Um, and then we roll with that and we substitute playing ball and we substitute chest bumping and drinking a cold one or smoking a blunt for deep introspection that could actually improve our self esteem and change the way we feel about ourselves. Um, and the next thing of leadership, uh, look into yourself and see if maybe there's a better leader. And of hair, I want to say I used to wear my hair in an afro that was maybe, you know, 6 inches high, maybe 8 inches high, natural hair. And I attracted to myself some good people, yeah. I also attracted to myself the worst sociopathic male that I have ever known. And indeed, he said that he liked me because of my hair. So there goes the argument that natural hair or your hairstyle will attract one type of persons against another. So then what is it? It has to be about, again, who you are on the inside. Have you healed from your trauma? Have you moved on? Have you become an addict and have you passed it off as an alternate lifestyle? Maybe a subculture of which you are a part, where you're really recycling and a set of trends of behavior that from a trauma that you didn't heal from. Um, these are things that we have to think about moving forward. And yeah, so in a way, if you're going to play basketball, you're showing your ability. If I'm going to wear my hair in fro or dreadlocks or braids, I'm showing my ability, the beauty of my hair. However, it is not our ability that moves us on from a trauma setting. It is how we can heal, how we can develop a positive self-image, how we can assess how we got into where we are, who was responsible, how we can avoid continuing any negativities that stem from that, and how we can forgive the people or persons, even a token forgiveness, so that we can move on, and then how we can avoid attracting such persons or situations to ourselves, because there are some women, I know of women who say that they just continuously choose the wrong type of guy. And I don't know if they are males who will just continually say, oh, as a male, I'm supposed to end up in a bad situation, supposed to go to jail. Where some males say that jail represents manhood, it represents adulthood, so it's a good place. I had my son's barber say to me, jail is good because then you can go to college in jail. So, well, of course, we had a big argument over that, but that's not relevant. So, yeah, folks, men out there, thank you for. I got a couple of views on the video, and we love you, Three Gens and Friends. We're gonna talk about this topic a lot more, but remember, what you don't heal from is surely gonna take you out. And if traditional methods haven't been working for even a sector of the population, what can we do to create change? We love you.